Hello everyone, my name is Moss. The year is 1966. After 6 years of researching,
Blank screen.
blank screen.
Touch screen.
Button.
No,
No, turn towards me.
There's no screen right there in front of you.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
This, just touch this?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a button on the right that says blank.
Did you
screen.
miss my instructions?
Oh, no, here we go, yes.
There we go.
After 6 years of researching chimpanzees living in the wild, biologist Jane Goodall publishes her thesis, Behavior of Free-Living Chimpanzees. What she details changes the study of animal behavioral science forever. Chimps in the wild using tools in their daily lives. Until this point, conventional biological wisdom held that humans were the only animals who could use tools to any significant effect. This opened up a world of possibilities and encouraged hundreds of new studies. Fast forward 52 years. Monty, my green cheek conure, stirs the food in their dish with a stick of carrot to get at the seeds they prefer over fruits and veggies. You see, something scientists have discovered in the last 50 years is that not just chimps use tools. I'm an amateur bird guy, or aviculturalist, whatever you want to call it. I see parrots almost every day. And something that I see a lot if I pay attention is a parrot's natural inclination to manipulate their environment. They unlock doors, use sticks to scratch themselves, and fashion tools for all sorts of purposes. So I got to wondering, what other kinds of animals use tools? And what I found was that many different kinds of animals use tools in their natural environments. While tool use is far more widespread than we thought 60 or so years ago, as many pet owners should know, not every animal has the requisite dexterity or intelligence to manipulate tools. No offense. As such, I'm going to be talking about tool use in primates, tool use in birds, and at the end about some animals who use tools but don't fall into either category. Let's begin with the subject of Goodall's research, primates. Chimps are perhaps the most advanced tool users on the planet, not counting ourselves. According to the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology, chimps have been observed in the wild using tools to hunt, to collect food and water, and to do something that they call processing food, which is when an animal uses a tool like a stick or a stone to make something easier to eat, such as like crushing a nut. But of course, they're not the only primates who use tools. Gorillas, orangutans, monkeys, and others use them as well. Gorillas, interestingly, use them for a variety of more niche purposes, such as sticks to measure the depth of water, like what she's doing right there. They use logs as bridges and ladders, and they've even been observed making slippers out of wood to walk across cold and snowy surfaces. They also sometimes brandish sticks as weapons, which would be pretty frightening, I think, in real life. Monkeys as well use tools. They often make like rakes and probes to rake and probe things. And orangutans use tools as well, though possibly less than their brethren. One interesting thing that they do is they'll grab large leaves from trees in their environment and use them as like umbrellas to protect themselves from the rain. And primates are fascinating. But what about Monty, who I mentioned earlier, and other birds? Let's talk about how they use tools. And any discussion of how birds use tools would be incomplete without mentioning the New Caledonian crow. According to research by the University of Oxford, New Caledonian crows exhibit a variety of interesting tool-using aspects, such as doing something called termite fishing, which is an behavior also exhibited by chimpanzees, which is when they stick a stick into a tree with termites in it to get the termites on the stick, and then they eat them. New Caledonian crows can also, they also exhibit the behavior of sequential tool use, which is when they use a tool to get another tool to then accomplish a task, which is not something that a lot of animals can do. And on to parrots. Although some parrots use tools more than others, all parrots have a strong natural inclination to observe objects and use them as tools, although they're not always great at it. Sometimes they just pick up a bottle cap and try to hit it against something and nothing happens. Though according to the University of York, cockatoos and macaws have been seen using sticks as wedges to crack nuts. And greater Vasa parrots grind rocks against seashells to then get the dust of the seashells, which they eat for its nutrients. And then there are some other birds who use tools. What you're seeing right now is a beaver bird nest, which is arguably tool use and arguably not, because they're just kind of making a nest, but it's so advanced that it kind of demonstrates those aspects. More research by Jane Goodall herself suggests that vultures chuck rocks at eggs to crack them of like other birds. Some finches also hold sticks as weapons, though I doubt that is anywhere near as threatening as, say, a gorilla. And there are some other animals who don't fall into primates or birds who use tools. And let's look at some of them. For one, elephants can grab things and manipulate them with their trunks. They will plug up holes in the ground to manipulate the flow of water so that they can keep drinking it for longer periods of time. Dolphins have been observed by a biology journal, Ethology, covering their snouts in sponges so that they don't get hurt while they're foraging. And otters and some carnivores, as in of the order Carnivora, smash rocks against eggs and shells to get at the things inside. And interestingly, according to an article by the Washington Post, crocodiles and alligators disguise themselves as perches to get, like with sticks, to get herons to land on them, which they then eat. In conclusion, today we've explored animal use in 3 different types of animals: primates, birds, and the few who don't fall into those categories. From Goodall's chimps in 1960 to my birds today, a variety of animals have been observed using a variety of tools in a variety of ways. Research into this subject has humbled us and taught that other animals are smarter than we think, and we owe much of our perception of animal intelligence to it. Maybe instead of give a dog a bone, we should say, give a chimp a stick. Question? Oh, yeah, yes.
What do you think that this information does for us as humans living on this planet today?
I mean, it's mostly useful in the field of biology, but in terms of usefulness to us specifically, it can definitely be helpful when we're looking at our own evolution.
Yeah.
I
didn't mean like they would help us. I just.
Oh yeah. And it's interesting to see how like the points at which animals begin to develop their tool use, and like based on intelligence and stuff.
Yeah.
Any others? Okay. Cool.
Thank you.